Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and today we have our JMS RG7S GM Spartan. So let's go ahead and take a look at the head unit. The head unit looks pretty much the same as the SXF, but it's a little bit of a problem because some parts are a little loose. We'll talk about that a little later. The body unit is pretty much solid, still one of my favorite parts of this kit. And let's take a look at the arm unit. The arm unit has these little loose sections. Those little parts along the shoulder pads are a little loose, and the shield on the right arm is removable, easily removed. But overall, the articulation is pretty much the same. Now, the waist unit has been improved. I think that the ammunition holder is easier to connect, and the leg unit's articulation is pretty much the same. Very movable, wide range of movement, and that's pretty much the leg unit right there. Now, the backpack is still pretty bare. Very big difference is that the black sticker is very visible instead of a gray. The rifle is pretty much the same as well. It can hold the other magazine, and you get some extra hands. Now, when you connect the head to the body, this is where the problem begins. These little round things along the side, they fall off, and there's no clutch, or I don't feel any security when I try to connect that. It's not secure, it just drops. And when you connect the arm unit to the body, there's no problem to that either. The articulation and the fittings of the arms are okay, but again, those parts, they fall off, and they're just totally irritating. They just fall off every time. Now, you can glue that, of course. You can put Tamiya cement, but that's pretty much the solution that you're going to get. Now, the lower half and the top half, when you connect them, there is no problem. The leg unit and the waist unit is pretty okay. That's what I thought at first. But when you start shaking things around, aside from those little round things on the head, they fall off. When you connect that backpack and you play around with the kit and you try to shake it some more, especially when you try to hold the leg area, aside from those round things fall off, the chest is pretty much okay, but the leg unit, it just falls off as well. And now let's take a look at the JMS versus the XFS comparison. So these two kits are pretty much the same. They are the bootleg copies of the GM Spartan from Bandai, but let's see what's the difference between the two. So the XFS, this is the XFS. It's a little lighter in color, and as you can see, that this was the first thing that we reviewed earlier. But if we take a look at the JMS right now, it's a little darker in color compared to the XFS, and the stickers on the JMS are a little more metallic compared to the XFS. The XFS also has a gray sticker down the back compared to the JMS. It has a black sticker, and that the JMS has a more secured connection for the ammunition and the magazines compared to the XFS. The JMS Spartan is pretty much the same as the XFS version, except that the JMS has some really nice plastic. So I think that is the reason why JMS cranked up the price for this kit a little more. It's 100+ pesos more expensive than the XFS. But if you really ask me, is it worth it to add that much price to a bootleg kit? I won't really say yes to that, because the XFS and the JMS, they have very minimal differences. They have the same accessories. We have here the rifle. The rifle looks good. The articulation on this thing is pretty much the same as XFS. And I think XFS has a more solid connection compared to the JMS. A lot of the parts on the JMS falls off. Now, both kits have the same beam saber effect, and you can replicate the double beam saber action on the JMS as well on the XFS. So I really think that adding a few hundred pesos to this kit doesn't really justify that. By the way, I love the dagger on the RGM Spartan, and JMS delivers that as no problem. And with that, let's talk about the things that I like about the kit. Number one, the plastic quality on JMS has been very consistent. They deliver good quality plastic. The colors are much more vibrant and darker. It has some same nice accessories that the XFS has. And of course, it has that good articulation that you can play around and pose with this kit. Now this time I think the good points are not really outweighing the bad. The things that I don't like about the kit is that the parts fall off, it's not stable, a lot of the connections are also loose, especially down the leg area and the head area, so I think the price point on this kit is not really justifiable. And so with that, we're giving the overall rating of the RGM 79S from JMS as a 7.5 out of 10. And that's pretty much all the time that we have. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the like, hit the bell, and thank you. Till all are one, peace out, rock and roll. Bye everybody, bye!